So if we remember anything from last year's lesson about functions, is the main definition is right here. For each input has exactly one output. For every one x, there's exactly one y. And we remember functions by four different types. We have mapping, ordered pairs, a table, and graph. And each one has a specific set of rules. The ordered pairs and tables are the same pretty much. It's just making sure you're crossing out the correct thing. But for mapping, if you remember an example of a function, so if we're looking at this one right here, we know each one of the inputs has to correspond with exactly one output. So we learned last year that this number here has exactly one line coming out of it. This number here has exactly one line coming out of it. One line, one line. This is 0, and this is 1 right here. All of them have exactly one line coming out of it. So this is a function. This one here is a function. Now, ordered pairs, this right here, we remember we have to cross out all the y's and see if our x's repeat. -5, -4, +3. None of those numbers repeated. That means for every one input, there's exactly one output. So this right here is a function. Same thing with the table. We want to cross out our y's. The photo is a little bit blurry, but this bottom part of the table is our y's. Let's cross those out and see if our x's repeat. 0, 3, 6, 15. This here is a function. Now I'm actually going to go over to this side right here, and I'm going to be doing it in purple. For this mapping, we are looking at the same thing as previous. So this example over here to the left, we're looking at how many lines are coming out of the input side. So here's our in, here's our out. For one input, there is exactly one output. Right here, one line. But look at this -1. How many lines do we see coming out of -1? We see 2. So this is saying for one input, there are 2 outputs. For this -1, there's 2 answers here. That right there is not a function. Now let's look at the ordered pair. Cross out our y's and see if our x's repeat. We have -5, 3, and 3. You see how these 3's repeat? This is not a function. A table. Y's at the bottom. Some may be on the top. You just have to make sure to pay attention to which one is our input output. X is our input, Y is our output, and see if our x's repeat. We have -10, 2, 5, and 5. These 2 5's repeat, so this one is not a function. Now for tables, as you can see, there is a pattern here. Our left side are functions and our right side are non-functions. Well, why is the right side not a function? Well, we do this thing called vertical line test. I can put a multitude of vertical lines. As you can see, here's my line right here. How many times at each vertical line does this green line touch the red line? That's one time, one time, one time, one time. So each one of these vertical lines touch this line one time. So that is telling me that this is a function. Well, what about this one? So we already know it's not a function because it's on this right side, but let me draw a vertical line. Well, how many times does this purple line touch this specific line right here? Well, there it is, and it touches once, twice. So this vertical line touches this green line 2 times. Well, we know we don't want things to repeat. this x value is going to repeat 2 times. So this one here is a non-function. And this will conclude the notes portion, or the recap of the notes portion that's in your interactive algebra notebook or journal. So if you do have any troubles or having a little bit of hard time remembering what a function looks like, click back at this video. It's going to be in your interactive journal.